One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Bouton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, friends!
Hello!
It's our anniversary
Anniversary episode!
One whole year.
We did it!
One whole year.
We did it!
We did it.
Yay!
Yay. Congratulations, friends.
Same to you, friend.
We were waiting to start the recording so we could open our celebratory Diet Dr. Pepper. So
Yep.
here we go. Oh, yes. Cheers.
Cheers, friend!
Cheers, queer.
Yay!
That's
So
lit.
extra. We were just talking about ASMR before this. So.
Yes.
But yay.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
This one's going to be fun.
This one is going to be fun. I think we should. What do you think? Should we? We didn't even talk through this, but should we shoot the shit, and start? Like,
Oh, I had a whole plan if we were
Okay.
double recording, but since
Okay.
we're not double recording,
Yeah.
we should shoot the shit.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down. So what'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? I went to the Museum of Love
yeah.
with my partner. It was very, very cool. You get into the Museum of Love and there's a person that greets you and they ask you how you met and your love story basically.
Oh.
And they like write it down on this like little heart
Oh,
paper.
the little hopeless romantic in me is like,
You're
that is
Cancer?
so fucking cute.
Yeah, you're Cancer.
Yes, exactly.
And then they let you put it up on the wall. And so it's just like a big tree filled with like little hearts of all the people's love stories. And then there's like a little video in the beginning. And then you go into, they send you down two different paths and then you have to find each other.
I'm gonna fucking cry. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
It's so cute. It was so cute. I found it on TikTok. It was like a queer couple that went. And I was like, that looks fun.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. That's so cute. Oh.
Yeah. And they just like, there's a lot of like little stations where you could do a bunch of little projects.
Fun.
Where you like guess each other's favorite scent. And like, it's like a bunch of essential oils.
That
And
is so cute.
yeah. And then there's like test you can take. And then there's a little station where you put like the little heart monitor on. And you have to stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes and see
Oh my
how much your heart
gosh.
rate goes up. It's so cute.
Oh my god, I could never be that open in public, but that's so cute.
There wasn't that many people. Like, I was assuming there would be more people there. Like, there's probably like 4 other couples, but it's a really huge, like, it's a big space. So there's a lot to do. We didn't get to do all the stations, but it was a lot of fun. There's even like a casket that one of you could like lay on. And,
my
and
God.
like just to kind of feel like what it would feel like.
Jesus. Too morbid.
Yeah. There's a lot. And then there was like signs saying like, oh, like, divorce is at its highest rate or whatever. Like, it was kind of like a mixture of things.
Yeah.
Because the psychologist created the Museum of Love.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cute.
So, yeah, it was really fun. We
really
did
cool.
that. And then I've just been like, doing family stuff with my dad. He had to get into a temporary nursing home, so he's getting 24-hour care at the moment, and he's there temporarily. So I feel a little better in
great.
that sense. But yeah, that's a little summary of my week, I guess.
Gotcha.
What about you, Fran?
What did I do this week? Huh. I know. I was gonna bring it up. I worked, and on Sunday we got to hang out.
Yes, we did.
That was fun. You took me. We were gonna go. Oh god, hilarious. We were gonna go to Little Barn, Little Barn Cafe.
Yes.
And I looked because I had saw the owner's like going away post, and I was like, let me see if they're open. And it was like Sunday, we're closed. I was like, crap, we gotta pick somewhere else. But we went to, was it Poppy and Roma's?
Poppy and Rose.
Poppy and Rose.
Yeah.
It was so freaking good.
It was so good. I
We
told you.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, I've never had it. It's weird. They put, we're talking about the food. I had a steak breakfast burrito, and they had like a side of barbecue sauce and like it was sour cream. It's like creme fraiche or whatever.
Yeah.
it was so freaking good.
Yeah.
I was like, I never thought to put barbecue in the
In a
morning.
burrito.
Like, that's amazing. It was so good, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We went to the wholesalers, like it's a apothecary mall basically, and they sell like witchy stuff wholesale, and we got a few things.
Did get things, and I got to see your new place
You got
too.
to see my new
It's
place.
so cute.
Thanks, friend.
The area is so nice. I was like, I'm not gonna like dox you, but like driving in, I was like, ooh, it's a little bougie around here. I like it. It was very green, also, which
Yeah.
is like not. There's no green out here.
Yeah.
it was really nice. I was like, oh, I love this neighborhood.
Yeah, there's
perfect.
a lot of nature around there. But yeah, you got to see my place. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like
Thank you for having
I
me.
like having guests
Yeah.
come visit me. I know I'm far, so it means a lot when a friend goes.
Yeah.
like, so
And you are far, and kudos to you for driving this way. Like, I appreciate that as well, because that is a long drive.
thanks, friend. I mean, I'm used to it.
I know you are, but that doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, it's all good. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth our anniversary.
Oh, shucks.
I am so proud of us.
I know, me too.
And how we've persevered through a whole entire year of recording. We've worked so tirelessly hard on this podcast, and we're so grateful to everyone who listens.
Yes, and it's just freaking like I don't know. We so what we're gonna do today? I guess. Well, that's the end of shooting the shit.
Oh
I
yeah, hold
suppose.
on.
We're all out of sorts.
Yes.
But like when we were talking about, so we want to do some clips from the last year. But going through and finding those clips was like, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
Like there was just some parts where I'm like, I forgot about that. Like, like that was fun. Or like, I don't know. It's just fun to see kind
Yeah.
of what we've talked about before and like
How much we've changed too.
No, right?
Because I was listening to like our first episode, and you were not about the witchy stuff. You're like, interesting.
Oh, it's totally different. Yeah. It was fun to see too because I listened to like our like the end of the year episode too and stuff like that, like what we wanted. And I was like, huh. I know we had talked about doing a separate episode about that. Like,
Yeah.
did we do what we wanted to basically?
Yes.
And I was listening to it and I was like, oh, I forgot that we had said these things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go back and like make sure I'm doing those things. Like,
I haven't listened to that one.
it was a good reminder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we doing that in the new year?
I mean,
2023?
Sure.
Okay, look out for that.
Take a look back and see, did we do what we said we were going to do?
I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
For the most part.
the Cap and Aries, the cardinalness. Yeah, I'm sure we did.
I'm sure we did.
But yeah, it was really fun to look at and fun to like visit old episodes and just
Yeah.
see kind of where our headspace was. That's the
During
most
that time.
interesting thing.
Yeah, because it's changed
Oh yeah,
so much.
very different.
We each gathered like just some parts of some episodes that rung close to us, and we're just so grateful to all the guests that we have had this past year. We're so grateful that there's been so many guests willing to be a part of this podcast because we're such a small podcast at the moment, and we're just so grateful to each and every single one of you, and we wanted to give a shout out to you.
Yeah, I want to shout out all the guests. So thank you to these people, basically. Thank you, Jessie, for coming on.
Yes, hold
Yes.
on, applause.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't do it for each one of them. I guess I'll do it at the end.
Okay. We tried.
I already saw your face of annoyance. You're like, oh.
I was like, that's that's loud. I don't know. That's Caps don't like loud. We can, whatever you want, friend.
Okay.
Okay. And thank you, Candace with Drunken Unicorn Apothecary.
Yay.
Thanks for coming on.
Love you, Candace.
Thank you, Sandy.
Love you, Sandy.
We love you. Thank you, Ladora, for coming on twice.
I know. Thank you for coming on twice, Ladora.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yes. I love you, Adrian.
Oh.
Miss you.
Thank you, Lebec.
Thank you,
Your
Lebec.
story was amazing. We appreciate it.
Every time I tell people about my podcast, I'm like, go listen to the Lebec
I love
episode
that.
first.
That's great.
That's the first episode I always tell people to listen to.
That's awesome. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
Melissa did 2 episodes also.
Also,
I
thank
loved
you.
it. And thank you, Bernie.
Yay!
The coolest.
Thank you, Bernie.
But yeah, that was all our guests.
Round of applause for you all. Y'all are great.
We love you.
Cheers, queers. All right.
All right. So you want to go first? Go first.
Okay. I guess
Okay.
I'm going
So
first.
we have some clips, little things. I guess I don't know. Memories, just memories.
Yeah, just some memories that we gathered. The first one I have is from our.
Oh, we're gonna do if we overlap episodes, we're gonna both play our
Yeah.
ours if you want. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll just go back and forth.
Sure.
Thank you for bearing with us while we figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first episode I have gathered is the Get to Know Us episode, which is our welcome episode.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
Do it.
It's really weird, like, when you really think about how people react, like, once you do come out. Because, yeah, I feel like some of the people I came out to were like, really? Because, I mean, I think I was really, like, I would project a lot of, like, hetero, like, oh, I was always, like, dating guys and things like that. But it was all underlying internal homophobia that I had. And I was trying so hard to be happy. And I was looking for love in the places that everybody told me it was. And it really, I suppressed those emotions for so long. But we'll get into
We'll definitely get into that next time.
Next time, we will definitely have an episode where we talk about our coming out stories.
So that was the first one. The reason why I picked that one first was because I really liked that line that just kind of flowed out of me about how I was looking for love in all the wrong places or where everybody told me it was, because I feel like that is so common in being queer and, you know, not being part of like the norm of society. And I feel like a lot of people go through that. And nowadays I don't really talk about like my straight life.
Yeah.
I like refuse to.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting to like listen back and like,
Wow.
oh, like, because it was so like fresh during that time. And like now I'm like, that didn't happen.
You're a win. Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm like, who was that?
I love that.
Because I feel like a completely different person, even from that episode.
Oh yeah, there's some where I'm like, what am I? I feel like so far past that now.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple times where I'm like, I'm over that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
was the first one.
Well, I have one from the same one.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Awesome.
It's a little bit different. Let's see.
With our initial, like, I mean, we knew each other. We used to work together.
Yes.
But, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we really knew each other back then. No. So
It's like we're getting to know each other all, like,
it's
actually.
familiar. Yes, it's familiar, but not.
But not,
So
yeah.
it's funny because there was plenty of times when we were in our initial talking, when we were had the video chat, that there was things that you were saying that I was like, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about. And
same.
I think, yeah, so it's interesting to, sometimes you just need to hear things from other people to make you realize, like, oh my gosh, I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
And it just gives so much comfort that you're not alone in feeling those things.
Absolutely.
And it's great to hear that.
That, and I think also in our own community, I think it's really hard for people to feel validated from the outside world.
I know. I told you already that I made cupcakes.
You didn't tell me already.
Well, no.
We ate.
I Gemini'd that. I skipped ahead. So I when I made, I was like, close your eyes because I want to show you, because I was already getting like sentimental because I was like, this is what this episode's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I picked that one because I was like, I remember that like we were like clicked so quick, and I was like, I knew we clicked still, but
Yeah.
like I was like, oh my god, it was instantaneous. Like,
yeah, friend.
It just made me happy to be like, oh my god, like it was, to be reminded that it was instantaneous was like,
Oh yeah. There was no like weird, like, you know when a friendship first starts and it's like a relationship, like, you know, you're a certain way when you first start being friends
Yeah.
or you first start a relationship. I don't feel like our friendship has changed in the sense of, I mean, now we cry more, but I feel like it was never
Yeah.
like, there was never that awkward
Yeah.
phase, because
Yeah.
I remember from the moment we had that Zoom meeting when you wanted to talk about being part of the podcast, it felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And it felt like we were being ourselves. And to this day, it's like we
That's-
don't have to try
yeah.
in this project that we're doing. We don't have to try in our friendship. We don't have to go, it's easy.
Yeah, it's never. I'm never exhausted at the end of our hangouts because I'm not pretending to be anybody. It's just me, and I can just be me, and that's fine. Even if I'm like cranky or I'm like not want to play along or like I'm just, this is just who I am, and it's cool. Like even after our Zoom call, when we went to the photo shoot, we talked the entire time, and it wasn't like any like lulls or like
Nope.
We just had so much to say the first time, and I was just like, oh,
We always do.
I know, right? Still, same.
That's good because we have a podcast. So
Very good.
that's a very good problem.
But yeah, I loved that. I was like, oh,
that too, friend.
yay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, no, I'm gonna make you cry.
Stop it. Don't look at me.
I'm not. The next one I have, I'm sure you also have a little bit of this one, is Candace.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go ahead and play it.
Yeah.
That I know for me, particularly ever since I started, I've encountered so many people coming into my life, like even if it's just like very casually and then they like go away, but like I just keep meeting people that are kind of on a similar path to me. Has that happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of people that come into my life, kind of learn what they need to from me, like the small amount that I have to teach them, and then, and then they're like, okay, that's all. And that's fine. Like sometimes it's like, why don't I talk to that person anymore? But it's like, because
that was their purpose.
that was all I needed. That was all I needed. So, yeah.
Oh,
I love you, Candace.
you're so sweet.
So sweet. I really wanted to touch base on that because I feel like even now to this day, there's been so many people that have come into our group, and I think it's kind of emerged from the podcast, like with Sandy and Candace and Ladora, and like it's really cool that I don't know. For me, it's obviously like I believe it's the universe, like bringing your family together, your chosen family. And especially in our community, I feel like a lot of the time people in our community rely on their friends to be their family. And I feel like it's the same for like the spiritual community.
Okay.
And I really wanted to feature that little snippet of talking about Candace. And I really miss Candace,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because like you knew Candace for years before, and like I feel like you're probably closer to Candace more than ever now, right?
Yeah. Even when because we worked together for a long time and we'd like eat lunch and stuff, but like I actually have it. No, that's not the clip I have, but while listening to the episode, she had talked about not like divulging any of that stuff to me back then because
Yeah.
she wasn't sure about how it would go.
Yeah.
But like we're like way closer now, but I mean, no, we haven't seen her, but she's busy, so
She's
that's
busy.
totally fine.
Yeah.
She's out making her like scientist dreams come true.
Yeah.
So like,
and we're
that's-
so happy for you, Candace.
I know that's the coolest thing. Like you're doing it. You're doing it. That's
Yeah.
so freaking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have Candace too, and I'll play it first, and then I'll explain why.
I just bought a wand and it had a little holster, so I had it on my hip and I was walking around pretending like whatever. And it was so funny. So we were in the brooms booth, and I just turned to my mom and I was like, "This is so cool! Like, I would love to like work here. Like, how cool would that be?" And this lady like whips around and she looks at me like really intensely, and she was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, it would be cool to work here. And she literally didn't even say anything. She grabbed my hand and was like, "Come with me." And I was like, "What is happening?"
That's awesome.
So she ended up like dragging me around to like 10 different booths. Like, this girl wants a job. Do you have a job for her? And I was like, what is happening? So we ended up at this booth that we had been in a few moments before, called Tickle by Fantasy. And she brought me up to the counter and she's like, "Hey, like this girl wants a job. Like, do you have something for her?" And the lady behind the booth looked at me and was like, "Sure. Like, I'll take her." Yeah, of course. And I was like, "What?" And I turned to my mom and I was like, "It's the wand."
I love that. It's the wand. It's my favorite. They had Candace always reminds us, for me, always reminds me about the magic, and I love that. And just her it's the wand is that's Candace to a T, and I just love that so much. It made me happy to she's so funny.
She's such a great storyteller too. I love the way she was painting the picture of the whole story. I literally envisioned it like a movie in my head.
Exactly.
And she has a way of saying that, and she to me she's a whimsical
She's a
magical
little fairy. She's a
witch.
Fairy witch.
Yes.
Pixie. What was it?
Love
Pixie
it.
Revolt is her old company name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We love you, Candace.
We do so much.
And we miss you very, very much.
Very much.
All right. So my next one is actually the first episode of 2022.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's listen.
I already know this.
Yeah. The last episode, I had mentioned that one of my hopes, I don't want to say resolutions.
Yeah.
It's not really a resolution. But one of my hopes was to get to the place where I felt unapologetically myself and was comfortable with just dropping the she. And so I did that.
Drop that bitch.
I think I did it the day we recorded.
You sure did. I was like, wow, that was fast. Let's go. I'm in.
I don't know. You just kind of reassured me. You were like, well, it's a given. And I'm like,
Fran.
Yeah, I mean, friend, it was literally a conversation we had after recording one day, and you just I don't know, you pushed me. You gave me that little nudge to just.
I'm a pusher, Katie.
You are a pusher. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And that was a really, really special time for myself to come to terms. Not to come to terms, but stop living for other people and other people's comfort and just kind of own who I am. And you're a huge part of that. And it means the world to me. And that's why I love you very much. And I'm so grateful you're in my life and you're my friend and I'm going to make you cry. But I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else, friend.
Same friend. And a testament about how our brains work is I have the episode before that. So I'm going to play it for you. And I'll tell you why.
We're in
I
sync.
had somebody reach out to me. It was my brother's friend. She reached out to me yesterday, and she responded to a TikTok I made about me being non-binary. And she asked me, she's like, "Oh, so you're non-binary? So your pronouns are they them? Do you prefer they them?" And I'm like, "Well, technically, I still go by she they, but I really do prefer they them." And she's like, "Great, thank you so much for standing up your ground and being yourself." And I don't know, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you for approaching it in that way.
So that was the end of the year episode. And I picked that one because that's the first time in the description it says they, them. And I was like, me, I'm so proud of you, friend.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm very proud of you. And you did it and you're doing it. And that's why I was like, I'm going to put this one.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an anniversary episode without tears.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. So that's how in sync our brains are, is because I picked that
Always.
also.
Always. We're always in sync. Hello, I saw your brain when I did Reiki, but we'll talk about that later.
You did see my brain.
So, on to other things.
Sorry for all the sniffling.
Sorry. I mean,
Played off.
Okay, so the next episode I really wanted to feature was our Sandy episode, and I don't know if you have Sandy as well.
I
But
do have Sandy.
okay, cool. So let's listen to this one.
I used to play it off oh, I'm just a tomboy. I'm very much so a tomboy. But I've always been attracted to women. It's not new. But my first crush, I would say, was probably high school. I've always kind of doubted it. I don't know if it's a cap thing or not, but it's am I really this? Am I not? But then in high school was when I had my, I'm definitely this. I had my crush, and she also had a crush on me, and she made it known, but I was very scared, and it was still so new to me that I hid it, and I lied, and I'm like, no, I'm not this, because I was also in a relationship at the time. But I was like, wow, there's just something about this person that I just so like infatuated over. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Aw.
Sandy.
Oh, Sandy.
I wanted to touch base on that because I feel like all of my friends that I'm surrounded by now are like, we all kind of have some similarities and stuff, and Sandy, that part of the episode, Sandy talks about, you know, being in high school and like experiencing that like first time experiencing emotions, like queer emotions. And I really resonated with that because that was also like the case for myself, and how we just kind of have to battle like internalized homophobia and, you know, the fear surrounding all of it. But yeah, that's my little
Same.
take. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was like, it's the cap.
It's the
Because
cat.
I thought it was that in my brain.
Yep. And you didn't even know.
I didn't even know. That's great. Oh, Sandy. So funny. I have Sandy too. So I'm going to, here, this is mine for Sandy.
I'm curious because like we see like your if you follow Sandy, you know Sandy's like stories are like on point.
On point.
And like you also don't shy away from showing like, oh, I'm making like spell jars today.
That's funny you say that because I'll post it and then like 5 minutes later I like doubt myself and I'm like,
a cat.
oh shoot, should I have done that? Oh man. And then the rest of the day I'm literally thinking about it and like contemplating going
Nope.
back and deleting it. I'm like, oh man,
It's
like
the cap.
people are gonna judge me, people are gonna say this, people are gonna think I'm crazy. I mean, like, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Plug in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. People's opinion of you,
None of your
doesn't matter.
business.
It's irrelevant.
Exactly,
I-
it's irrelevant.
yeah.
And if they have hateful things to say or whatever, I mean, it's no offense, it's a reflection of themselves. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I agree.
I'm gonna do what makes me happy, and that's that.
Exactly.
Yay, Sandy.
Yeah, I love that about Sandy because that's Sandy to a T. Like, I feel the same way. We may think it in our heads, but like, still, like, it just do what makes you happy. And she reminds me of that too, is like, still seeing her post, like, she's just doing what makes her happy, and she makes her little home into her, like, sanctuary. And like, it's just, her home is amazing. It's the coolest thing. And
She's
it's
herself.
Yes, unapologetically. And it's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, Sandy.
We do love you.
You're very inspirational.
Yes.
More than I think you even realize.
Yeah, and Sandy is the craft master, so you need to know how to do crafts. Sandy's your person.
Yes. We love you, Sandy. All right. The next one I have is our Sandy recap / Reiki talk, and it's a little longer. So it's you talking about your Reiki experience,
okay.
and I really wanted to feature it.
Yeah, let's talk about yours.
Yeah.
So, do you want to just kind of tell us how you felt beforehand and during and after?
So obviously I was skeptical a little bit, but like 'cause Sandy went first, so I was kind of watching and like, but I was also not watching because I was like, okay, I'm gonna like give you like privacy kind of, but we were like all in the same room, so I was like, okay, let me just like chill on my phone for a little bit. So I heard kind of things that were happening, so I was like, okay, and I also tried not to watch because I didn't want anything to tell me how I should act or feel. So it would be my own experience. So we started like I laid down and cleansed the air and everything, or the space, and like, so right when you first started, the top of my head was like pulsing, like, and like I was like, whoa, like my head's like, it feels like it's gonna be crushed a little bit, and then it stopped. And then like I'm like getting chills kind of talking about it actually right now. Like I was freezing the whole time. Like I was already kind of cold before, that's why I went upstairs to get my sweater, the one that Val got me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna need my sweater, but I was still freezing, and I literally felt like nobody can see me. I felt my hands were like, my whole time I felt like my entire body was shaking,
And you
like
weren't.
freezing, shaking. Like anybody's ever been like outside on a super cold winter night, and you're like sometimes like even my back will hurt because I'm shivering so hard because I'm cold. It felt like I was doing that, but you guys were like, you weren't shaking at all, and I was like, I was definitely shaking. I was definitely shaking. Like I felt like my jaw was like chatterbox, and like you guys were like, no, which I was like, whoa, that's nuts. Like, so I could like see like that was the thing too, is that we were talking about like what kind of light you were using, and like I was like, oh, mine were like pastels, and you were like, that's because like,
No, I think I told you first, or somebody asked me like what I used on you, or I was telling.
Oh, you said both.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I used, so with Reiki, when you're doing the healing, you're supposed to use certain lights, and your higher self tells me what lights you need. And for you, I was using a combination of each chakra light and white gold light.
Yeah. And I was like, mine were pastels.
I'm like, that makes sense.
They weren't super dark. They were like different pastels. And then there was something I didn't tell you. And you were like, yeah, there was kind of also like sparkles, like turquoise sparkles or pink sparkles, like glittery sparkles. And I was like, you saw that? I didn't even like, that's what I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, cause like,
Aww.
It was a little longer.
I was like, oh, it turned off. Thought I was just listening. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like that was a very special day.
It was.
Like I relive, I like look back at that day all the time, and it was such a gratifying day because like the vibes in your living room were so zen.
Yeah.
That day. And
It was nice. Yeah, I know. Well, we need to do another one.
I know. We should have done it at my house.
I know. I didn't think about it until after.
No, right.
But it was like, yeah, that was just such an experience that I've never had. And like the fact that we both saw like we're in each other's heads, like it's not even a question at this moment.
It's been like that from the beginning.
From the get-go.
I'll be like, oh, I have this idea. And you're like, no way, I have the same idea. Or like something. And then even our bodies.
Yeah.
Like there's been so many times, even in like we've recorded podcasts talking about it, like where our bodies feel the same physical pain. And we're just like on the same wavelength.
Definitely. Yeah. It was that. I wanted to do it again because I know that you like, there was things that happened afterwards that I was like, ooh, like I'm working on this now. And I'm like, I wonder if it's changed.
Progress report.
Yeah. I wonder if you could see that it's changed kind of thing. I'm just curious.
Let's do it.
Because I'm a nerd.
Let's do it.
I need to know what my grades
You're
are
like-
like.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm down. Okay, I have, let's see which one I want to do because I don't have that episode. Kind of something I meant to say too when I forgot which one I played, what the episode was, but when we were talking about when you hear things come out of people's mouth that you resonate with, I wanted to bring that clip I brought out because it was kind of what our goal was for this, was to like, we heard people talk about stuff that made us like realize things and not feel alone. And that's kind of, I think, one of our goals at the beginning.
Yes.
Like, so I was like, I just wanted us to be reminded of that, I guess, that like, that's one of the things that we wanted to do is hear other people out. And like, we're here talking about these things so that you'd also, and whoever's listening, doesn't feel alone, you know? So that's kind of, so I kind of have the same thing with this clip. It's from our take on But I'm a Cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're hilarious at the end. So
I don't remember.
I'll explain it after.
Okay.
it could have like all the like the sun like rubbing all his like tools, and like there was a longer, when the boys get caught, there was a longer like more intimate scene that was there, but like that was fine, but the like there was supposed to be like actual like women's sex in this movie, and like they didn't, like the director, not the directors, I guess the ratings, whoever they are, said like, no, you can't do this. And she's like, but I have like 2 boys, why can't we do this? And she was saying like if that was another thing, like a slap in the face, basically, like why they needed to make this movie more, because it's just so ridiculous. Like they could have had that, but not the 2 women together. So they had to tone it down. But I heard it was a lot spicier.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Can you release the uncut?
I think there is a director's cut.
I was so sad.
You were like, damn.
I was so sad.
When I first listened to it back, I was like, oh my God, that's like, you're straight up damn.
I was so sad. I really want to see it. I really want to see. I mean, I just love seeing gay porn. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. But come on.
I know. So, but that one made me think of like, you know, it's another reason to do the podcast also. It was another reason for her to make that movie. Like, these things need to be said and it needs to be out there. And we're just us. But I mean, we're saying these things and it's another, people need to hear it.
Yeah. People need to hear it. People need to hear and see gay loving.
Yeah.
I can talk about sex all the time. But I don't know if anybody wants to talk about sex or wants to come on. Let's talk about it. Particularly queer sex.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes,
do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're like, yeah, yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
let's move along, Jenny.
Okay.
Enough.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Next one. Next one. What is my next one? Oh, it's the Dora episode.
Oh, yay. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, won't stay that way maybe all the time,
Yeah.
but like I'm willing to break that. I think you start to learn more about yourself, which I think is like I know for sure that's your journey. Like I
my
was
gosh.
watching it, so it definitely was like you were posting more, you were out there more, and like I got to see your transition. Like I remember when you were she her, and then she they, and now you're they them, and I was like, go Jenny.
Thank you, Ladora. No, and that what you just said right now, like that's something I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like part of my healing process, like I'm in a place where I'm facing like my demons and like the things, and I'm like, why don't I let people completely in? In order for you to learn about yourself, you need to open up to people.
Yeah.
And that's literally what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. So that particular thing that Ladora told me has stuck to me since she said it, and because I'm such a self-soother, and I've always been a loner. I've always had like one friend or a few friends, and then like I broke out of that and had like a big group of friends, and then I find myself going back to like just having a couple friends, which honestly I don't mind. Like that is my comfort zone, and like I have a friend in New York, I have a friend in San Francisco, and I love them so much, and I don't talk to them every day, and I don't talk to them enough, but that's just the way I work. But at the same time, I have found myself realizing that what she said about how it's important to have people in your life in order for you to learn about yourself. I mean, just her mentioning that is it's a proven thing. Like, you know, like she told me that, therefore I learned something from Ladora.
Yeah.
And that particular thing like has stuck to me, and I'm so grateful for her saying that to me, and we've talked about it several times, and I'm just so grateful for you, Ladora. So thank you so much for giving insight into my life, and I'm trying to practice it every day.
Ladora's so wise.
Very wise.
I know. And I'm like, how are you younger? You're so wise.
She's always been that way since since I met her. She was really young when I met her, and she was always that way. She's lived so many lifetimes, and
Right.
she's just a great human being.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I find myself doing the same thing too. I particularly like friendships where like we can meet, like go a while not talking and come back and nothing has changed. Because even with us, like we don't get to talk every day.
Yeah.
We're too busy. I know you're busy. I'm busy. But back and we're both busy.
Yeah.
But when we do, we didn't miss a beat.
Yep.
I love those because to me those are like super authentic. Like you know
Healthy.
me, yeah, and there's no upsettedness about not being there or not being around constantly. It's just like I'll catch you when I catch you, and I miss you, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to have, especially as you get older, it's important for you to have friendships that are understanding and not codependent or just true. And like we're very direct. Like, if I'm ever annoying you, you're very like both of us are so direct. And like, and I can tell when I'm like pressing your buttons, and I don't want to press your buttons, because the difference I think of our friendship and something that I hold very dear to my heart is the level of respect we have for one another. And I feel like that is that's the glue to our friendship, is
agree.
the level of respect we have for each other and how much we don't want to disappoint each other.
Yes.
And that's why we're so direct. And that's just our personalities.
Yeah, the direct. We don't like games.
No.
It's funny because I find myself sometimes like if we haven't got to talk or something, I kind of move into old patterns that I have in the past with friendships where I'm like, oh, they hate me, like totally, like
Never hate you, friend.
I know, but as soon as I hear your voice, I'm like, I'm crazy. Like this is my friend. I'm crazy. Like obviously nothing's wrong, but I feel my brain, and it's just when I do hear your voice, it's just like a reassurance that like you're crazy, everything's fine, we're totally cool. Like because I'm been so used to a lot of people not getting it that that's how friendships work for me. I'm used to getting the hurt end of that, basically, when I don't mean to hurt, and I'm very direct. That's how I just can't, I can't be any other way. I just am. And it's not in a mean way. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just I don't like games, and I'm going to tell you what I mean, and I expect the same, and I think we both understand that, and that's nice. That's refreshing.
It is refreshing because it's not exhausting.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
And yeah.
I'm never like, oh, go home.
I mean, I would understand why though. I'm like, when you're yawning, I'm like, okay, I know I've been too much today. I'll go home.
That's my body's response. That's my brain's response.
I know. But I know you love me.
Yeah.
And I understand because I know I can sometimes be
You also respect that I'm a little old lady and I need
I'm an old lady too, or old person, whatever. Yeah, old
I get
person.
ya.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And so, yeah, and like if I don't talk to you I haven't talked to no one. Like I'm just I'm such a hermit. Like and especially when I get into my depressive zone, I get so hermity with everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't even respond to emails in my business and stuff. So I just get, it's just mentally exhausting to me because like my job is surrounded by people contacting me constantly. So like sometimes I just like I don't take the phone with me anywhere sometimes. Like I'll be in my house and I'm like, all right, phone, go under the bed, and I don't want anything to do with you today. Like
I get that.
I'm the same. I'm like that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, yeah, because if my brain spirals, I'm like, they're busy. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay. I'll see you next time. But yeah, all right.
All right.
What's my next one? I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go. I'm thinking about pulling out the other Scorpio moon.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
They're good people. I'm not saying like hate them, fuck them.
This
No,
voice,
no,
this
this voice is
I'm
gonna stay.
definitely over this voice. This is what happens too. He does a lot of voices. There's a Western voice that happens from time to time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's do it. No, you can do it for an example.
I'll
but
do it at work sometimes and they hate it.
You'll get stuck like that, and I'm like, real. It's like 3 days of this voice, and I'm gonna lose it. I can't.
It's just I heard it somewhere like apparently like that country voice old lady, like that voice is supposed to be like the most charming voice, like
It's really not.
but as long as it's just that slow, deep, country voice, that apparently
Kelsey's not a fan.
If y'all can see Kelsey right now.
It's not. I'm not about it. It's really not a thing for me.
but I mean it's just like okay, like
You're still trying to convince me, and
maybe I can like well welcome to One Thing Queer.
No.
We accept all people.
no.
We're dying listening. Oh, my cheeks. I know that was a... Go ahead.
I think the funniest part is how annoyed you are. It's not even the voice, it's how annoyed you are.
Oh my God. He's hilarious. And oh man, I know it was a recent episode, but like,
It's a great part.
great part. And like, we got so many comments about his voice, so I was like, here you go, y'all, one more time, because you loved it. I secretly love it.
I loved, listening to it, it reminded me of what your face looked like during the episode, and to me, it's the funniest thing. Because you're just, like, you were not about it.
You know what it is? It's funny because I thought about it. I'm like, I love this now. I find it hilarious now. But it's the whole thing of like,
moment.
yeah, in the moment and being put on, like, that's a private thing. So being put on blast that like, you're showing everybody I like this. Cut it out. Like, that's the annoyance, not so much the voice.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes when he does get stuck like that for 3 days, I'm like, okay, I'm really done with this. I'm really over it. But those times it's funny. But I hope you all like that one.
I loved it.
He's out of his mind, and it's my favorite thing. So
It was a great one.
yeah, so that was the recent one with Bernie. If you haven't listened to that one,
It's a good one.
it's a good one.
I mean, that doesn't make you want to listen to it, I don't know what will.
Oh, he's out of control.
So my very last one is
Ooh.
Adrian.
Oh, yay, okay.
And I really enjoyed this little part that he mentioned.
Don't end this relationship I'm going to be like 40 years old with a family, and then I'm going to come out as gay, and it's going to be a whole mess. And I was like, that I don't want to waste 40 years of my life and not be happy. So I that ended, and because I continued to envision my future with a man and having kids and having family. And I was like, I want that. I was like, I've never had a relationship with a man before, and yet I want it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is me.
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, this is me. So I finally decide that it's gonna have, my next relationship is gonna have to be with a man. And I go out there and I put myself out there and I do it.
I love you, Adrian. You're literally, first of all, you have such a great voice for a podcast. Literally, you need to start a podcast. But I really loved that part because I also resonated with it because I also went through that thought process of I'm going to be 50 years old and have children and be married to a man and not happy. And I just really enjoyed his story. I relate to it a lot, and I was part of his journey. You know, I remember him being in his last hetero relationship and like the struggles he went through, and I, you know, my brother's involved in the sense of like he was one of the first people he came out to, and like he's just a very special human, and I respect him very much, and he's been through a lot, and I really enjoyed his story, and
Definitely.
I thought he needed a little shout out.
Yeah, and he gave us a really good perspective from a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
Like he's different than most of our other guests, so
Yeah.
it was great to hear from his side and viewpoint of things.
Absolutely.
And his experience.
Yeah, really enjoyed having him on.
Yeah, and football is gay.
Yeah, and he confirmed that football is
Yep.
gay.
That's the official word.
Yes.
Official word from
Applause.
Adrian.
Yes. Yep.
That's
Facts.
yeah. Okay. I need a gavel, like ding ding.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
That works too.
Okay, there you go. I added a sound effect.
Okay, so I have two more, and they're from the same episode.
Okay.
Okay, so this one's first because I did a proud of you moment, and I'm gonna do a proud of me moment.
Okay, friend.
So I found this post, and it said, "Happy Pride Month, I'm bi, this is my coming out." And it was like something I first saw when I opened up my phone that day. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, I think I'm gonna do it. And he was like, okay, like whatever, I support you, I'm here. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna do it. And I posted it, and like, I was like, surprise, or maybe not. So I was like, okay, so like it's out there. I know some.
Yeah,
Aw,
it was just a little snippet. So
That's so cute.
that's from our coming out stories.
Yeah, friend. So proud of you.
Thanks.
Look how gay you are.
I showed you kid photos, and I looked very gay in those kid photos.
Yes, you did. Oh my gosh, today, yes.
In that middle school photo.
You look like you were part of the movie Brink. Like you should have been on it.
That's the best compliment ever. I love that movie. But yeah, so that was a little proud of me thing, and I kind of mentioned later in the episode that like a common theme when I was coming out to people was like, yeah, we know.
Nope.
And I was like, cool.
I thought you were always out.
No one told me
the whole time. Like I always thought you were bi since I met you.
Oh wow. Well, I love that. I mean, I was, so that's great.
I'm psychic.
Yes, you are psychic. So from the same episode, I guess this will be our last one.
Okay.
It's a little origin of something.
Ooh.
But before we do that, let's shoot the shit.
Sure.
I think this is like a new segment. I think we should do the shoot the shit, like
As long
as
as
a
it's
segment.
not the shitting.
Not the shitting part, just the shooting. And then the shit is just figurative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
not literal.
No.
That deserves.
That was the origin of shooting the shit.
That's crazy. Wait, what episode is that?
The coming out one.
Oh my god.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool.
I felt it. I know.
I want to do a shooting the shit shirt.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What?
Pooping rainbow.
Yes. Yes.
We'll brainstorm this.
Shooting the shit.
That's so cute.
Oh, we need to record that.
We do.
Shooting the shit.
You
Hold
can
on.
sing it.
Let me see. Shooting the shit. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'll think of another melody.
Oh, you're so funny, friend. Oh, but that was my last ones. I know.
That is so cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is our anniversary episode recap of the past year.
Go back and listen to ones if you found it intriguing.
Yeah, it's really fun. The first couple episodes aren't the best quality sound-wise because it was
We're very hard on ourselves.
Yeah, but they're still really great episodes to listen to.
You just have to turn them up.
Yeah. And you know something I noticed?
Tell me.
My voice changed.
Really?
Because the first few episodes, I feel like my voice is really high pitched.
I kind of feel that also, not with both of us, I feel like.
Really?
Because I can do my deep like register now because I'm comfortable. And I'm not like, hi, customer voice. Like, hey, how you doing? Welcome in.
Yeah.
Welcome to Vans. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is what I sound like. This is what it's not, like. I don't think it sounds that deep, but for me, in my head, it's rather deep.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. I'm like, oh.
We're more ourselves, authentically
Yeah.
selves. I love that.
I was also like looking back at like old TikToks I had back from 2020 and my voice was like, hi everyone, I'm painting today. I'm like, who the fuck are you? You are not someone
that.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I am so proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I'm proud of both of us because we've worked so hard
We did
on this podcast. And I'm so grateful that it was you who I ended up doing it with because I mean, I literally have an origin of like the thought of the idea of a podcast on TikTok. And I remember like, oh, I have this idea. It keeps like bugging me. I want to start a podcast where I have guest, and then I was like, wait, I want to co-host, and then I found you and we've done it, friend.
And I love that, like, even though, because that's how I saw it, is because you had your Instagram, and like we didn't really talk really, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I kept you as a friend on there. Like,
me too, friend.
I'm so like, I can't even imagine not reaching out at this point. Like, I'm glad I had the courage to reach out, I guess, and I just can't imagine if I didn't. Like,
Me
that would
neither.
suck. We would not be here.
I'd be very lonely.
Same.
And very, I don't know, I would just be in a different place.
Same.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because you have, here we go, you have changed my life, and it's been for the better, and I am just so grateful for you, and you're crying.
Same.
You're
And
crying.
no fair, because you notice that Jenny avoids crying by the high-pitched sing-song. That's me crying. Same, Ren. I feel less alone.
Yeah.
And
Oh, friend, you're gonna make me cry. I do
Sorry.
too, friend.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. You're my family.
Yeah.
You're my family. You're my sister, and I am very grateful for you. And I can't wait to see what comes out of this. And even if, you know, wherever this may take us, I don't regret a single moment.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're better at saying it than me, but you know that my same is the same.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, because not a lot of people get that. But you know that I don't have the word sometimes. But when I say same, I mean it.
Yeah. And I'm honored. I'm very honored to
Same.
for you to have opened up to me the way you have, because I know I'm lucky for that, and I'm very grateful, and I don't take that lightly.
Thanks. Same. I love you.
I love you.
Okay.
Okay. Tears.
Suck it back.
Suck in tears. Suck in tears.
This has been the greatest, best wild ride. And there's more to come.
There's more to come, y'all. All right.
We hope you all enjoyed that.
We hope you enjoyed our anniversary episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna enjoy some cupcakes and some hangs.
Yeah.
And please, 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 if you have a moment, please share, subscribe, follow our podcast. It would really, really help us out. Share it with a friend if you feel like there's someone that would enjoy what we have to say, or maybe resonate with any of this. Please share it with them. It would help us out so much. And rate us on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. It would also help us out. And repost us if you can, and you feel compelled. We are so internally, we're so gracious, or wait, I can't even speak. We're so grateful to each and every single one of you all around the world, because we do have listeners all over the world, and that's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's wild.
And even though like we only have around 3,000, we're heading to 4,000 plays in general. That's still a huge accomplishment for us.
Oh, yeah.
And we hope to grow, and we hope to offer y'all some more fun things. Like, obviously, like, we don't get any money from this at the moment, but I would love to see this grow into something, and like for us to be able to afford to make merch for y'all, and like maybe a Patreon one day, or maybe filming our episodes. But that obviously takes time, money, and investment, and we're kind of like not at that place yet. So liking and subscribing and sharing really helps us out. So.
And let us know if you know, or if you want to share your story. Like I said, a lot of the times we need other people to make us feel less alone, kind of, and that's how we do it, is by sharing stories.
Yeah.
And if you feel like even if you feel like your story is not particularly unique or anything, it's your story, and it is unique, and somebody out there needs to hear it.
Yes.
And I think it's really important.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we started this.
Definitely.
So please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
You could email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com. And we also have an Instagram.
Yeah.
It's at onethingqueer. And what else?
Oh, you can follow me if you want. My personal one, it's SpexRayX, and we do have a TikTok as well. It's One Thing Queer Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. And my personal one's at Jenny Lynn Bhutan. We're all over the place today.
I know. Usually I do the socials, but it's all right. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool, but yeah, I guess we'll see you next week.
We'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for listening for a year.
Yes. Thank you for all your support. We love you.
We love you. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Baton. Edited by Jenny Baton.